everyone, it's Mary Ellen, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things related to the storytelling industry. And as you can tell from the title of this video, it's going to be a little bit different today. We're going to have just a sit down and chat, and I'm going to share what all has been on my mind. I would call it a coffee talk. I do not have coffee. I do have my beautiful, it's not a Stanley, water thingy that I got on my Disney vacation. I was at Disney Springs, got this from Ron John Thrift Shop, and it says so many bucks, so little time. Anyways, I love this thing. It holds a lot of water. Anyway, so we're going to have a chat. We're just going to hang out and have a chat. Also, yes, there was a blur in the corner of the video because I put on my screen protector wrong. It was, in fact, not centered. And so eventually I will get a new one and we will fix that. Until then, it's going to be a little blurry. Okay, life has been really chaotic lately. There's a lot of thoughts on my mind is everywhere. And rather than try to come up with some nicely curated how-to video for you guys, I just wanted to sit down and talk. How I'm feeling, what I've been going through, what's going on in my life, that kind of thing. Let's just have a chat and spilled beans, let you guys know what's up. Because I know you guys have noticed that I have been somewhat absent on this channel. I used to post weekly, and it's been, weeks and weeks in between videos, and there's a reason for that. It's just because life is chaotic. So lately it feels like I'm almost living on autopilot. I am so busy, and there are 5 million things pulling at my attention all the time, whether it's work, things to do at home repairs, different stress things, just endless list of things that need to be done. I've been hit really hard this summer with issues with the house. I've had a lot of home repairs. My finances have been tight because I don't have, I've had to do all these home repairs. I don't have money to go to events, which we usually do in the fall for the podcast. We canceled all of our fall events, and I'm also dealing with health issues. My sister is dealing with health issues, and it's been a really rough summer. And I'm being hit physically, emotionally, and definitely in my pocketbook. So it has been difficult. I've even had multiple emergency room visits and everything else. So I am struggling, and I've been trying really hard to not let the struggles of my health affect my work. But I did have to call into work sick a couple times in the last month or so. And it's frustrating because I don't like for my personal life to interfere with my job, but it is. And I'm just frustrated. This is not how I pictured my 40s going. I don't know. It's just been really difficult, and I feel like I'm running on autopilot most days, just going through the day and never really stopping to reflect. I was actually looking at the calendar the other day and I was like, "Oh my God, it's the end of September." And I have been so chaotic this year that I feel like the summer just went by on a blur. I had all of these deadlines, all of these goals, all of these things I wanted to do this year and this quarter that I just didn't do because, we're almost at the end of Q3 and I've accomplished zero goals. It's been chaotic. And one of the things I've been really trying to do lately is stop and pause because I'm so on autopilot. I feel like it's a routine. You get up, you go to work, you work, you get off, you have all these things to do around the house, all these errands to run, and then you go eat dinner, shower, and go to bed. Wake up the next day, do it all, and then suddenly it's the weekend, and you're like, oh my God, it's the weekend already? That's not the way I want to live my life. And so I have been trying to find opportunities to pause and slow down, which has been really hard for me. You guys know that one of my favorite things about the summer was my pool, and I ended up deciding to splurge, which financially I probably should not have done this, but I did. Bought myself an inflatable hot tub. They're not cheap, but I found one on a good deal, and I decided to get an inflatable hot tub so that I could continue the relaxation that the pool offered me. And so one of my favorite things to do lately is I will just get off of work, eat a quick dinner, put on my swimming stuff, and I get out there and I just soak in the hot tub for 30 minutes. And the funny thing is I was telling my sister this, I don't even really run the jets most of the time because I have lymphedema. And so I can't keep the hot tub really hot. I have to keep it 90. There's a whole story, which I may tell you later, but 90 to 95 degrees is about as hot as my hot tub can be because of health reasons. So I will just get in there and soak like I'm sitting in the bathtub or something. True story. I got this waterproof case for my phone, and so I will just put music on, read a book, and just soak in the hot tub for 20 or 30 minutes. And it's the one time of my day where, like, I can calm down, take a deep breath, listen to the music, feel the fresh air and the breeze on my face. My dog usually out there with me chilling. I have a little place, little rug for him to lay on, and we just will sit out there. And it's the first time in my whole day where, like, I'm uninterrupted. That has been helping a lot. But hot tub season is not going to last forever because an inflatable hot tub does not actually withstand the coldness like a real hot tub would be. So mine is rated for like 14 degrees Fahrenheit, but once it gets cold enough, I will have to take the hot tub down, and then I will have no pool or no hot tub. I got to be real though, after experiencing the hot tub, I'm actually really seriously considering saving up and getting a real hot tub later on because it's a story for another day, but I'm considering because then I could use my hot tub all winter, but it won't be this year by any means because been financially killed this year. So that's not going to happen. But yeah, that has been helping me a lot. Just trying to clear my head and take a reset every day. And the problem is though, like as soon as you get out of the hot tub, the real world returns and you still have your list of things to do. But I do think taking that small break every day is helping. And I know I've said this in previous videos, but I'll say it again. It's not that I hate my day job. I don't hate my day job. I actually really like my day job, which is why I do it, but it doesn't fulfill me in the same way that writing does. And I think the thing that I find most concerning is that writing lights me up. It brings me joy. It's the thing I love the most. But because I'm so busy, it's hard to find time to write. And also, I'm feeling more and more discouraged about whether or not this is actually going to become a career for me. I'm 2 years into this goal of becoming a full-time writer. I had a 5-year goal. I'm 2 years in, and I'm still not making any income. And I know I've made major changes to like what I write, how I write, my genre, all that this year. But I think I had this rude realization this summer that I don't know that writing will ever become a job for me. Like, I don't know if it's possible, especially when we're up against things like AI. I think that becoming a full time writer might be a thing of the past for a lot of us. And it sucks. I don't want to give up my writing career because I do love it so much. But I also know that with the chaos of life, if I don't block time into my calendar just for writing or just for working on the podcast or just for working, it's the first thing to get cut from my calendar. I mean, we just got out of like the craziness of budget season at work, and that was the first thing that got cut. I got to work on budgets. So I'm going to cut my writing time because I don't have time for anything else. And so I've honestly not really sitting down and wrote in about 3 weeks. And I'm realizing that I need to go back to basics. If I want to keep up on my writing schedules, I'm going to have to block it in like their calendar appointments and not cancel them because I'm losing sight of the goal here. And it's because everything else is it's gotten lost in the shuffle of everything else. And that's not good. I've also, because of being as stressed out and as busy as I am, I have started going back and rediscovering the simple joys I used to love when I was younger. So I used to be very much like my family didn't have a lot of money, but we used to like doing like crafts and jigsaw puzzles and crossword books and Sudoku and word finds and just anything that you could just sit and just kind of like work your brain a little and relax. And so I have also been allowing myself, especially on the weekend, usually weekday, I don't have time, but on the weekend, I will take an hour, maybe 2 hours to work on something that's just fun that I used to love doing. So I've done diamond painting again. I bought a needle pointing kit, like a plastic canvas needle pointing kit. I have jigsaw puzzles. I have tons and tons of puzzle books. I have my coloring books. And I, again, have been making time for the small little hobbies because you get so lost in the shuffle. And I've started realizing that like Monday through Friday, we're super busy with work. And then Saturday, we get crammed full of errands that need to be run, the grocery store and anything else that need to be done, like shopping, cleaning the house, whatever, laundry, working in the yard, all the stuff we get crammed onto Saturday. And then Sunday, I go to church. So I would have a couple hours on Sunday afternoon. And then Sunday night, I'm prepping for my work week. And Monday through Friday, I'm slammed with work again. So it's like, I need to block time out to actually have fun because it was affecting my mental health pretty severely. And so I've started blocking out time to just do fun things like that. And I'm actually excited because I have a vacation coming up in a couple of weeks and I'm not going anywhere because, again, I have no money. I might go to my sister's house for a few days, but I think I just need a week where like I'm not working and I can just spend the whole day doing crafts or go walk around at one of the fall festivals and just go sightseeing. You know what I mean? Like I need time to just relax because I can feel the anxiety and the stress building. And so, yeah, making time for things that relax your body and your brain, I think are important. So the hot tub and then finding time for my hobbies has been really important to me. And I'm trying to find more time for writing because I do love writing, but like I said, it just became lost in the shuffle of life this year. And speaking of creativity, another thing I wanted to talk about is the direction of this channel. So when I first started this transition to AuthorTube, because if you guys have been following me a while, you know that I've had so many versions of this channel. It was weight loss, and it was cancer, and then it was BookTube, and it was AuthorTube, and everything in between. And I got into this habit of like my goal originally, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. My goal originally was for everyone to see me as a writer who was learning as she went and was teaching others as she went. So I wanted to be like the writer that teaches others, like how to and tips on this and just, as I'm learning, share my learning with everyone else so that they could also learn. And that was really how I wanted to position myself on this channel. And I did several videos that fell into that vein. I started a podcast to go along with that. So if you're listening to the podcast version of this, hey. And yeah, that was my goal at the time, but I'm realizing that I don't necessarily know that I want people to see me as the writer who gives advice more so than I want them to see me as just a person who writes. And so I think I want to start incorporating more of those vlog style videos because when I look back at the videos that I've enjoyed making the most and the videos I have done the best on my channel, it's the ones where I'm just being me. I'm not giving advice. I'm just taking you along my journey. And I know there are a lot of AuthorTube channels out there that they just do like weekly vlogs. And I'm really thinking about going that route. Maybe not every week, right? Like maybe I'll still pop in with certain topics that I just want to share with you guys about stuff. But I think I would like to incorporate more of like, hey, I'm just me. This is my life as it happens. And I happen to also write. I think that's more of the vibe I'm wanting to go because I want people to see me as a person. I want people to see me as being more honest. I never want to come across as like I'm preachy or I'm telling people how to do things. I want them to see me as like, hey, this is my friend Mary who also writes. That's kind of what I want to change this more to. And I think I got out of touch with that for a while there, and I would like to get back into it. And speaking of internet and being on the internet, I have become way too dependent on social media. Way too dependent on social media. I hate to admit this. I've talked about it in several videos. I did a couple videos about the effects of like social media and TikTok and all that on me. It's bad because with the mundaneness of life, and I use a new hair product. So if I'm scratching my head, I hate this curl cream. Anyway, I won't name the brand, but it's making my head itch. Anyway, so sorry, that was random, wasn't it? Sorry, guys. I have become dependent on social media as like almost therapy because I'm lonely. I don't have a lot of friends. I have been hit really hard financially. So, vacations, trips, conventions, anything where I was going to go out and be around people, it's canceled. I don't go see my sisters. Like, my sister and I usually are up and down the road all the time. I have not been to her house in months because I haven't had the gas money to get there. I am going to see her in a few weeks, but I haven't been to see her in months. I didn't have the money. And same thing for her. She's also had a really rough summer. So like I am lonely. And one of the things that I've been falling back on is scrolling social media, especially TikTok. I have a TikTok problem and I'm going to flat out admit it because I feel less alone when I scroll and I see people on live. They're just doing like they're cooking dinner or they're talking about their makeup or whatever. It makes me feel like I have friends and we're chatting about makeup and it's all fake. It's fake. It's internet. Like these aren't really my friends, but it makes me feel less alone. And so I can sit down like last night. I'm gonna tell on myself. Last night, true story, got in my hot tub, took a shower because I always take a shower after because chlorine, ew. So I always take a shower when I get out of the hot tub. And then I was like, I'm gonna sit down and scroll socials for like 30 minutes and then I'm gonna work on some stuff I need to work on around the house. 2 hours later, the dog came to me because he wanted to go potty. And I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh my God, I've been scrolling for 2 hours. 2 hours. And that's not uncommon for me. I have become so dependent on social media. So I am realizing last night was really a wake up call for me, but it's been a problem for a while. And I think I'm going to have to take the apps off my phone. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll know that I post every day. And I post every day because I batch record. So if you pay attention to my outfits on my TikTok, just go look at my feed, look at my clothing. I batch record and I just rotate them so I don't have the same outfit multiple days in a row. But I rotate them. So they're batch recorded. But I mean, I've got to. I think I'm going to have to take social media off of my phone. And that includes taking off like Instagram and things like that because I can see myself falling back on Instagram Reels or something. And it's not good to use your loneliness instead of getting to the root of your loneliness and figuring out how to solve the loneliness problem, to just put a Band-Aid on it with social media is not healthy and it's not good for you mentally or emotionally. So I need a break from social media and see if I can get my focus back because it really is affecting even my ability to read a book. For example, my favorite author is J.R. Ward. She just released a brand new book like a week or two back, 2 weeks back, something like that. Normally, I would have her new book read in like a day. I would devour it. I would be drooling over her book. It would be gone in a day. It took me 2 weeks to read the book because I had trouble concentrating. I had trouble concentrating. I would read a page and then be like, I should check my phone. And then I'll read a page. I should check my phone. And then when you check your phone 10, 15 minutes later, you know what I mean? And so I'm realizing this isn't good. This is not healthy for me. And I'm going to have to take the apps off my phone. So if you're someone who messages me, because some of you do, you message me through like Instagram or TikTok messages, just know that my responses will be delayed because I have to take a digital detox. It's just not healthy for me to be that way. And last but not least, if you're in the United States, I'm not political, so I'm not going to go there, but I will say if you're in the United States, you know that things have been very chaotic in our country for the last few weeks. And it has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. I have already been struggling with what I like to call as a midlife crisis, even though I don't really know if it's a midlife crisis. It feels like one. Just struggling with like the meaning of life and what I want my life to look like. What kind of mark do I want to leave on the world? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? And I don't know what that looks like, but I think that with the events of the last few weeks, it has been very eye-opening on how quickly your life can be taken from you or how quickly your number can get pulled. Your ticket can get pulled at any moment. Yeah. And also life can change. I have some really good friends that just went into work on Monday last week and they all got laid off. There are a lot of layoffs happening in multiple different industries, including the hospitality industry. Thankfully, I have not been cut yet. I hope it doesn't happen to me, but a lot of my friends have been. And it just, your life can change so drastically, so quickly, and you have no control of it. We like to think we're in control, we're not. And it really has just got me thinking about like, what do I really want my life to look like and how do I want to balance things? I think that I need to get out of the four walls of my house. I'm thinking about trying to find a place I can volunteer so that I'm at least out and around other people and I feel like I'm making a difference. I don't know what that looks like. I need to figure out a place I feel comfortable volunteering at and what I feel comfortable volunteering with. But I think it's been a very eye-opening couple of weeks here in the United States, and I don't know what the future looks like for us as a country or for us as people, but it's scary, and my anxiety has just skyrocketed with everything that's been going on. So, I'm terrified, but I'm taking it one day at a time. And that is where my head has been at lately. So, I haven't done a lot of YouTube videos for you guys because I'm not writing. I'm not doing a lot of writing. It's just been chaotic. There's a lot going on in my head, and that's why I'm kind of wanting to transition this channel because I don't want to stop posting. It's just I didn't have anything writing related to talk about. So if this is an off the tube channel and all I talk about is writing and I don't have any writing stuff to talk about, what do I do a video on? So instead, let me just do a video about my life and me as a person. And if you like that content, I hope you come along with me. And if you totally don't care, I'm fine with that too. I understand. But yeah, I hope you guys come along with me. But how are you doing? As always, let me know how you're doing. What are you working on? What has been on your mind lately? What are some things you're really proud of? What are some things you're worried about? How are you doing with the chaos that has been the last few weeks? So, if you liked my video and you don't think I'm completely insane, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.